From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
On this week's episode of Bayou Wild TV, we set out on a mission to locate a notorious fish that soars to new heights.
We're really concerned with trying to open everyone's eyes and the kind of an impact they can have on the ecosystem, and also how dangerous they can be to people who are on the water.
This non-native species of fish has become known for its acrobatic stunts and frequent contact with traveling boaters.
I mean, look, they jump up to 10, 12 feet up in the air, and a 30-pounder, when you ride a boat, hit you in the face, it could literally kill you.
We're talking about the Asian carp, also known as silverfin.
We're here at this water control structure right off of Old River. The purpose of being here today is we've got wildlife and fisheries shocking boats. We want to measure the degree of the population of the invasive silver carp.
And despite popular belief, this breed of fish can be a tremendous food source.
Spread the word out that this fish is good to eat, and treat it like a redfish or a speckled trout, and then you're going to see people jumping on board.
As somebody that's got a few more generations left in me to see come and go, and to have family that's younger than me, it's concerning that the government or just us as a society don't want to access this resource. We explore the rapid spread of silverfin and learn how biologists up and down the Mississippi River and its tributaries are working to study and control these fish.
We've got an opportunity, if this works, to contain the fish. We have a system in place to reduce their numbers where they are.
Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member.
Add the taste of Louisiana to your next meal. If you like creamy, bold, tangy, or spicy, bring home the taste of Louisiana with sauces from Louisiana fish fry products.
If you're a proud Bayou Wild TV viewer, check out the Bayou Wild TV collection shirts. Both regular tee and long sleeve dry fit are a perfect fit for any outdoorsman or woman who lives and plays in Bayou country. And they make perfect gifts. Go to BayouWildTV.com.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
On a previous episode of Bayou Wild TV, we introduced you to Chef Philippe Parola and his mission to create a commercial market for the invasive Asian carp.
If you look at the scenario, past probably 20 years, the government went on and spent hundreds of millions in science research, tried to eradicate. Those fish are from Canada all the way down to our bayou, the backwood of our backwood. You can't eradicate those fish.
Today, along with the support of the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, the study is underway to learn more about the species and what can be done to control their presence in Louisiana waters.
Today we're at the Old River control structure, so the significance of the Asian carp populations here is that we're so close to the Mississippi River, which is basically a pipeline for these fish all through the country.
The plan was to bring the shocking boats out here from the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. They're operated on generator power. They generate electricity. There are probes that are inserted into the water, and it stuns the fish temporarily and drives them up to give you the ability to actually inventory what's there. Now, silver carp are very tricky. Sometimes they'll jump, sometimes they'll swim away. We've seen them swim over nets, under nets, around boats, and sometimes at people. So these fish are definitely a threat to the fisheries of Louisiana, and hopefully we've got the solution to help control them.
These fish get very big and they reproduce at an alarming rate. And so not only do they physically crowd out the native fish, but they also compete with the food source. That's interrupting the food chain, and that is having an impact on the entire ecosystem.
The reputation that these silver carp have is one of danger. They can be very hazardous to boaters. In Florida, there's actually been some fatalities. There's been injuries. Anytime you're running high speed in a boat and a fish 30 pounds plus comes up and hits you in the face, something bad is going to happen. We had a couple of close calls today, and you probably saw them. Martha had a camera jolt. I had one that hit the side of the boat and came dangerously close to me. And then we also had a couple of them that came over boats in front, and we had one boat operator whose throttle was hit by the fish and kind of shook the crew up there.
I was videoing the other boat and let my guard down looking to tunnel vision, and a fish came right up and smacked me in the side of the camera. When we're running 45 miles an hour in the shallow waters entering the Gulf of Mexico, when it's a slick, calm day, we've had Spanish mackerel that might weigh 1 or 2 pounds come in and actually harm some of our customers. I've seen a customer with a bruise 6 inches long because of a fish that flew in the boat. I couldn't imagine running in a little smaller boat here on the river and getting struck by something that literally weighs 10 times as much as that. They're heavy, they're dense, they could break bones, they can knock the wind out of you, they can bruise you, they can even concuss you. So it is a huge danger, especially when they get so thick. You've probably seen the YouTube videos of folks going out and catching them, but really it is a danger, and when something that large is moving and you're moving so fast into it, it's like getting hit with a rock going 50 miles an hour.
Wherever you find them, usually you find a bunch of them, and they reproduce at an alarming rate, as do a lot of these invasive species that we deal with in Louisiana. So that's the main concern, is that their rate of reproduction is so great that not only are they competing for food sources, but they're physically, the schools are getting so big in these areas that they're actually displacing the native fish.
We're talking about over $3 billion a year on the seafood industry in the state of Louisiana. Those fish, another probably 10 to 15 years, I'm going to tell you, this is going to definitely affect those type of fisheries and the recreational fisheries as well.
You know, I think that there's a younger generation watching us and what we're going to do, and we have a problem on our hands, and we kind of have a moral obligation to try to make an effort to do something about it. As a chef, I'm engaged in the environment. I'm a sustainable-minded human being, and You know, at this point, I think that I'm here because we're probing for information to find out what the viability of the resource is and how we can help.
What we know so is a solution to this is strictly to promote the commercial harvest, and that's what everybody could jump on board, is to help us out to promote the commercial fisheries and eat those fish.
The silverfin were a little more prolific today than our last trip. It's a pretty big river and it's a pretty hot day, and we're only in 3 little shock boats. So based on the half hour of shocking we did and seeing probably 3 or 4 dozen fish at least, leads you to assume that there are quite a few more in these rivers, and it really is going to be a problem.
If you happen to catch one or have one jump in your boat, it is against the law to release these Asian carp back into the waters alive. So please be sure not to do that.
Coming up next, Louisiana is not alone in the fight against Asian carp. And at this lock and dam structure in Kentucky, Asian carp are present by the millions. If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D.
Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
Some things in life smell delicious. Others, not so much. Like a gas leak. Propane, for instance, is naturally odorless. That's why we add strong odorants to alert you if there is a leak. So if you ever smell gas, turn your system off at the tank and call your propane dealer immediately. Propane is a safe and exceptional fuel, and we want to keep it that way.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
When it comes to the invasive Asian carp, Louisiana is not alone in dedicating scientific resources to learn more about the species. At the Barkley Dam along the Cumberland River, biologists from both Kentucky and Tennessee have developed a unique way to control the spread of Asian carp.
We're here today at Barkley Lock, and it's a pretty exciting day. It was one of my first visits to this site where the new bioacoustic fish fence is being installed.
It relies on creating a sound field which is captured in a bubble curtain, which can be used to typically guide fish at our hydroelectric station. Here it's been used to act as more of a deterrent, to be able to obviously stop the Asian carp moving upstream and push them over towards the riverbank over there.
So that's pretty exciting. We've got an opportunity, if this works, to contain the fish, and then we have a system in place to reduce their numbers where they are.
Biologists and fishermen know that we must couple scientific methods with commercial harvest in the attempts to combat the takeover of Asian carp.
If we can keep those fish from coming upstream, then we've got a chance at controlling this. And on the other side of it is we are controlling the fish through commercial harvest. You know, our A-chip program is not even a year old, and 1 million pounds of carp, 1.2 million pounds of carp have come out of the Tennessee and Cumberland and Barkley and Kentucky lakes in that program.
But we meet once a year, and we have conference calls throughout the year, and we've been working on this Asian carp thing. This is probably 6 or 7 years or more in the making of trying to come to some agreement of how to deal with it on, as a whole.
Pretty confident that they're This is a migration problem, and if we can use the BAF system to reduce the migration component of this, I think it really will help us control carp levels.
The only solution we have is commercial harvest, to promote commercial harvest. To do that, you got to have the perfect product on the market and put a value on, which will put a value on this fish, put those fishermen to work. And as Alex said, you know, that will diminish the population, and hopefully we'll come to a point where these fish can coexist with native fish, to the point where those fish won't displace native fish.
I'm quite frankly way more comfortable eating a fish out of a river here that I know its ecosystem, I know its environment, and I know what it has to produce, than something that's been mass produced or grown in a fish farm that might be eating its own feces of another fish. So it just seems like a cleaner resource we're not tapping into. I see pogie boats taking and depleting a resource that we need. Pogies are a part of the food chain when you head to the mouth of the Mississippi. And we're taking so much of that out of there. We're taking the food source to a lot of bigger animals away to mass produce products that we use for home because there's profit there. Well, we need to put a profit on these fish so we can do the same thing with them.
Just perching in your local environment, you're giving back to the local fishermen. You're supporting their livelihoods and their families. You know, you're supporting the local environment and looking out for the biosystems. You know, I mean, there's a cycle of life there that if you give consideration to, it's no brain work. You know, it's just doing the right thing. And I think, you know, if we get the younger generation engaged in that as well, I think that they'll see this as an opportunity to make change in the environment.
Coming up next, we get the grill heated up and demonstrate to a few non-believers that Asian carp is in fact a tasty fish and a viable source of protein.
First of all, I think that it's important to understand the fact that they're good to eat. Because, as Alex said, if they jump in a boat, don't throw them back. Okay, that's a no-no situation. But you can easily bake them, barbecue them, do whatever you want. Treat it like another fish, like a redfish or a speckled trout.
Not everybody does, you know, but everybody's palate's different. We don't expect everybody to enjoy the taste of fish. Not everybody likes tuna, not everybody likes salmon. But we do believe, and I believe, that there are people out there who enjoy the fish, and it's a viable option for us.
Careful.
No, I am
delicate. It's flaky. Flaky.
I am. And look at these guys. This is how nice this is. So this is the whole fish now. And when I said you can feed quite a few people, you can feed some folks with that.
The iconic whooping crane is back in Louisiana. If you spot a whooping crane, remember, observe and admire it from a distance. And always report any harmful activity. You can always help the Louisiana whooping cranes thrive by donating to lawff.org.
Thank you to Chevron and the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation for their generous support. I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Fonio bag, pour and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products. All right, we're here today at Fred's on the River, and we've invited Chef Philippe Parola to come by. And if you happen to have an Asian silver carp, also known as silverfin, jump in your boat like it did the first time it made a mistake in his boat, or bite your hook, what do you do with it? We're going to show you a quick and easy recipe for a delicious fish. Show us what we got here, Chef.
Okay, well, we have the silver carp here. This is a 35-pounder. What we're going to do is I'm going to take the head off over here, which I put a little bit of work on it, and like this. So you have the head off, and actually you could barbecue the head too. They got quite some meat on it. So I'm going to turn the fish this way down so we can literally See this? So I'm gonna cut the rib cage here from one side of the vertebrae, and this is a big fish, so it will feed at least 15 to or so people. So when it's butterfly, you can see how beautiful and clean. This here is absolutely extremely clean.
Sometimes bigger fish like the drum sometimes have some worms in them, which
Yeah,
are
no.
harmless. But have you ever seen
No,
one in the
never
silver
have.
cup?
I have cooked many. This is a filter feeder, and I think it's got something to do with it. A drum is a carnivore, and omnivore actually. But this is strictly a filter feeder, so you don't see no worm, absolutely nothing, no parasite. It's probably one of the most healthiest fish there is swimming in our waters, and we need to take advantage of that. So that's why we're going to show you a very easy recipe to put it skin down, and make sure you don't cut the skin down on a barbecue pit. So now, Don, what I want to do is to go ahead and season this real good with some Cajun seasoning of your choice. Here you go, look at him, and he's a natural.
Oh, look, I go heavy on this Cajun seasoning.
Yes, I see that.
All right,
Put
you
some
want to
on
do the ribs too?
Yeah, put that there. Okay, so we're going to put that thing on a barbecue pit. You will. There you go.
We're ready.
This is it. This is it. Yeah. And so now we're talking about probably, I would say 40 to 45 minutes.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
If you're a proud Bayou Wild TV viewer, check out the Bayou Wild TV collection shirts. Both regular tee and long sleeve dry fit are a perfect fit for any outdoorsman or woman who lives and plays in Bayou country. And they make perfect gifts. Go to BayouWildTV.com.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish tastes great every time. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because the flavor is so good.
Louisiana Fish Fry Seafood Boil has more garlic, onion, paprika, lemon, and not too much salt.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, and pour and boil for great crawfish every time. We're back at Fred's on the River with Chef Philippe Parola, and our silver fin on the grill is done.
It's done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to slide that monster here into this right here, all the way through, and you're going to see how beautiful the beast is.
Careful, that
I
meat's
am
delicate. It's flaky, flaky.
I am. And look at these guys. This is how nice this is. So this is the whole fish now. And when I said you can feed quite a few people, you can feed some folks with that. So how you tell when it's done? Well, number one, you got to go through and look at this. With a fork, even so, you before you even serve it, you can go and make sure that it goes through easily. You see like this. And you look at it and you'll see how nice the meat is. So what we're gonna do here now is we're gonna remove some of those bones. See how big the bones are, Don?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this. The bigger the fish, the bigger the bone. So, look at the flesh. Yes, just try what that is. I mean, the taste, and give you an idea of how clean this fish is.
Almost has a very sweet taste to it.
Yeah.
Unlike a saltwater fish, very good.
It's clean. And what we're going to do is
we're going to do a little experiment.
We're going to put a little bit of a salad, a mensch lettuce right here. Then get me a little bit of that that vinaigrette out there, the little raspberry vinaigrette. You can hold that up. So we're going to put a little bit of vinaigrette here. Make sure we don't have much of bones. But here is some fish tacos right there. We're gonna put a little bit of hot sauce. Here you go. And then put it on the plate. Simple, you make some delicious fish taco here. We're gonna go see those folks who have no clue to what we're doing here. But I told them they want a free taco, a fish taco for lunch, and they all agree. So let's go there.
Let's do it.
So, the verdict on this fish taco.
Best fish taco I've ever had.
Wow. Really?
As you can tell,
You weigh it again? Yeah, I see that. You can have the plate, huh?
Yeah.
So you know it's an Asian carp, right? An invasive
Asian carp?
species, yes.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
So there it is,
Yeah.
from Fred's on the River in Port Vincent. Fish tacos with silverfin and Chef Philippe.
Bon appetit.
Cheers.
There you go.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Thanks for watching Bayou Wild. We love when you check us out here at Morton's. We're here just about every Monday. Check our website for details and our Facebook page. Also follow us on YouTube where you can catch all the episodes in full length.
And don't forget, order your Bayou Wild collection. Got lots of great items for you if you go to our website.